value dating and feminine tips for the younger woman. Hello, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, of course, are my world. If you're here on this channel, you are telling yourself, and of course myself, that you are ready to meet a high value masculine man, and you want to position yourself so that he can find you, choose you, keep you, cherish you, and love upon you. Okay, so if this is you and you really want to experience the loving cherishing of a masculine man, you are on the right channel. Today we're talking, I really do speak to women at all ages, but I understand that some of us are coming up, and we are coming up in an environment where a lot of the women around us don't know how to be feminine, or have lost their way. But I've always wanted to do, and I'm actually writing a book that I don't know when that will be out, because I write multiple books at the same time, for us as mothers raising young girls. So this video is not only for younger women under the age of 25, it is also for mothers. How should we raise our daughters? How aunties, what sort of advice should we be giving our nieces? And any caregiver who really wants to set the path for a younger woman, because it's really important that we start this journey early. It's the same thing as raising masculine men. We as the mothers are the caretakers, the ones that raise these men. And if we know and understand some of this stuff, we're truly able to raise high value masculine men. And also we have a responsibility to raise high value feminine women. And so I'm going to be covering some issues that we definitely need to handle, okay, or certainly communicate to the younger woman, and for the younger woman watching this today to really pay attention to. Unfortunately, number one is feminine neglect. One of the things that has happened over time as we have been trying to compete with men to be men, is that we have learned to neglect our femininity. We have learned to not nurture and cherish ourselves and take good care of ourselves. Really learn how to do our hair, our makeup. It's so important that we preen and that we really enjoy the feminine arts of looking pretty and wearing nice clothes and being in dresses. It really breaks my heart that some of us ladies, especially younger ones, really have a problem with wearing dresses. I have this a lot in my nation, SWAN nation, because the girls don't want to wear dresses. Can I wear jeans? Can I? And I remember having to really have a strong talking to the girls and saying, why am I getting pushback on this? You should be comfortable and feel happiest in a dress. Yes, trousers are convenient. I like trousers. Hands up if you like trousers. We all like trousers, right? They allow us to do more things, be more free in our movement. But a dress forces us to sit properly. It forces us to speak properly. It forces us to conduct ourselves appropriately. It allows our energy to flow different. I was talking to our style concierge Unique the other day, and we're talking about energy and we're talking about femininity, and she was saying even in her designs, as much as she loves dresses, feminine energy shouldn't be cut in half. They should just be flow. And trousers by their very nature split energy in halfway through the body. What we want is energy that flows from head to toe. We want to flow, and there's nothing that allows energy to flow more than a dress, because it's unstoppable. It's just this one piece situation. Or even a skirt and a top that flows is allowing us as younger women and women in general to force ourselves into feminine energy. It means we have to get into cars different. It means we have to hold our bodies different. It means we have to cross our legs at our ankles so our knickers don't show. We walk a little bit slower. We're a little bit more deliberate. We're a bit more conscious when we're in a dress. And we have so masculinized our young people and ourselves that we don't want to be conscious of our body. But the feminine woman is in her body, right? She enjoys her body. Before she requires a man's eyes to enjoy her. She enjoys her body. She enjoys putting herself together, standing in the mirror, preening, turning around. Okay, this is really important. She enjoys smelling nice. Okay, another thing is, as younger women, we need to understand that the most powerful word for a feminine woman to know really early in life is no. One of the most difficult words for us to use, especially when we're younger and we're less jaded and we kind of see the world with starry eyes and, you know, we still feel like we'll never be old, is we don't really say no as much as we ought. And I really believe that as mothers, aunties, older women teaching younger women, we really need to give them and empower them to say no to the things that make them feel uncomfortable. And then we need to give them multiple ways of saying no. I personally believe that the word no should never be used unless it is under forceful circumstances. There are multiple ways of saying no. Not right now, can we do this in a month's time? I'm really flattered that you thought of me, but I can't make it on this occasion, perhaps the next one. There are ways that we can say no without being unkind or disrespecting the person who perhaps wants to bless us. But one of the most important things we have to teach our young ladies, and we have to develop as young ladies, is the ability to say no to the things that we don't want and no to the things that make us feel uncomfortable. This is how we train ourselves to be feminine. Okay, the next one is exposure. Young ladies, expose yourself to different cultures, different people, different echelons. Be accomplished in your etiquette, and you will only do that by allowing yourself to be exposed. The only place for entertainment is not in a bar or club getting drunk in a mini skirt. Try to expose yourself. Mothers, aunts, create opportunities to go to the horse races, to go yachting, to go to Formula One, to have tea at an old manor house, or whatever is cultural within your context and your culture. Okay, let us create opportunities for younger women to do stuff that requires them to actually be feminine and pretty and interact with different sorts of humans, other than spending your whole life, you know, doing the same thing you've always done. Exposure is so important to develop class. Ladies, nobody's saying you can't learn to ride a horse. Nobody's saying that you cannot be an accomplished golf player. Nobody's saying that you can't put together and go to a tea party and have conversations with women who are going places. Younger women need to expose themselves to lives that probably only older women experience. Places, visit places, get on a train, go and see how people live in the countryside and learn how to be with affluent people. You know, open yourself up, go to a banquet, save some money for experiences that will bring you exposure. This is a real issue. A lot of us live in a cave, in a bubble. And so we think the world comes in one size fits all. And when we meet people from different places and backgrounds, we don't know how to relate with them. And, you know, if you're going to be a high-value feminine woman and you're going to date high-value masculine men, especially affluent men, they want a woman that is cultured. Okay, maybe if you love the cinema, go and watch a play in Broadway, go and watch a play in the West End. Be cultured. Expose yourself to different places. Learn to broaden your horizon and your bandwidth as a woman. Learn to eat in different places, different food. Don't get caught up in a cycle regardless of your background. Okay. Secondly, learn some soft skills. This is so important and something we don't teach our kids. Oh, what are your grades like? How are you doing in school? What do you want to be? But we don't teach our children manners. If no one taught you how to have manners, how to be polite, how to be considerate, and how to be in polite company, You have no excuse in the 21st century. There's so many influencers and bloggers who teach women how to get in and out of a car, how to be polite, how to say thank you, how to be gracious. There is no excuse, my lovely. There's no excuse. And the Academy will be creating courses that will help you embrace etiquette and grooming and being a woman of status and stature. Okay, we need to not be afraid of softer skills. How do we talk? How do we handle ourselves in conflict with other women, with children, with men? As a woman who is feminine, you should be gracious. Your presence should bring order and respect around you. Some of us are just failing at having manners. Email etiquette. There is a way that you address things online. I have, my assistant covers a lot of stuff, but sometimes I'm in there watching it, and I've had women who purchase the course and maybe somehow the system has not been able to deliver it. It happens. And instead of sending an email saying, "Hi Chengi," and many of you do, and I really appreciate you. Mwah. Instead of saying, "Hey Chengi, I haven't received my courses. Could you just look into it for me because I really want to do it. Thank you so much. This is well-mannered. This is good behavior. This is appropriate behavior." Some of you are like, "Oh, I have not received my course. Capital letters, bold, that I paid for. I need you to resolve this right now." My love, this is not the way to talk. It is not the way to be. This is not the way to address anybody at any point, at any time. We all get to a point sometimes when we are being taken advantage of and we have to show some mettle. But not everything is a fight. Not everything is a quarrel. Not everything is battleground. We can be ladies. We can send emails that are respectful. We can ask for things to be resolved in a high value way. Listen, girls, high valueness is not about what I do on a date with a guy, how I interact with him on text. High value is how you do your life. How much do you tip the waitress? Are you the girl who goes to the bottom of your purse, scrapes for 20p, the least amount, and stick it in the plate? Or do you really tip well? Do you leave 15, 20, 30%? Listen, there's no limit. Do you, make people feel, I tip really well, and I do that because I understand that this person probably can't, has worked really hard. They haven't spat in my food, and I'm always good to service, so I pray they have never spat in my food. But I appreciate that this person has been on their feet, they're running around, they've been gracious, they're taking the time to smile and give good service. Give more. It's ladylike, it is soft skills, and it's so wonderful when you're on a date with a man and he's paid the bill and you go into your purse and you leave a tip that is generous. Maybe he's paid a service charge, but it's just a thing. He doesn't need to know, "Oh, and I'm going to do the tip, okay? Thank me for it." Just go into your purse, take out a few pounds or, notes, and just leave them on the table and take his hand and proceed on the rest of your date. This is just being well-mannered. This is just social etiquette. These are soft skills. We should be generous wherever we are, and we should be seen as such. The next thing is learn to get over stuff. Learn to heal. Learn at a young age to heal. Not everything is for you to carry and be upset about forever. Get over it. This thing has happened. Address it, smile, and get over it. Okay, we need to learn, especially when we're younger, to have better communication skills and ways of dealing with our unhappiness. The next thing is get therapy and coaching. Listen, aunties, mommies, all of y'all, gift your nieces, nephews, and daughters with coaching sessions, therapy sessions, counseling sessions. We are all messed up, all of us. I am yet to meet a person who hasn't experienced any kind of trauma in their life, like they just had a perfect life. It is not possible. Even if you were the best mother and you did the best you could and you provided and you cared and you were there and you made all the sacrifices, somewhere along the line you were not God, you made a mistake, and that mistake caused pain. You didn't mean to hurt anybody. But we need to start to teach our younger girls, and you younger ladies, I want you to embrace the idea of therapy, coaching. We need to heal. And we don't want to wait until we're 30 and single and miserable to start thinking, oh, I need to heal. I don't want you to wait till you're 40. I don't want you to wait till you're 50. I want you, whilst you're still young, have all the energy. Stop wasting your time in bars and in clubs, chasing after boys who don't want you, and buying clothes you can't afford, and labels that are too expensive, and invest in coaching, invest in therapy, invest in counseling, get your mind right. This is so important, especially for the younger women. We know it's important as older women. We learn the hard way. But I want to save you younger women the pain and the suffering. The next one is, it's not all about your career. It's not all about get the bag. It's not all about boss girling it. It's not all about look at me, I got it. It's about family. If you want to one day be a mom and a wife, this is not something you should be putting off until, because nature won't let you put it off until. You should really be prioritizing stabilizing in a relationship. At a certain age, you need to be thinking, stabilize. I can get a good man before they're jaded or before some influencer gets to them first, and we can build something. And guess what? You can pursue your degree and your master's and your PhD as a married woman. You can do it after you've had children. There's life after children. There is. Take it from me. I love it. My son is 15 and I could very well be single with no children, because he's got to that point where he doesn't need me the way he used to, and I can do anything I want now. And I'm still young enough to do it, and I still have the energy to do it. There is a life after. But if I'd put everything before being married and having children, I would be 44 right now and praying to God for dear life that I'll meet somebody and then hopefully have children. This is not God's plan. I'm in a season for everything under the sun. I know this is not going to be very popular. And no, to those of you committed to misunderstanding me, I am not saying that women must abandon their careers and their desires in order to be mothers because of childbirth. I am saying that if you perceive yourself and you desire a family, children, and that is a thing, if you had to choose between being a boss girl, making your money, and pursuing that at the cost of your family, I would choose family. And I'm glad I did. At the age of 19, I decided, okay, I was too young, granted. But when I was younger, I knew I wanted to be a mom. I knew that I wanted to be a wife. I knew I wanted these things in my life. And I'm so glad I chose that path. I'm so glad I have a child. I'm so glad I was a wife. I'm so glad I had all of those experiences, because now I'm open to anything I want, right? And nothing is standing in my way. But if I hadn't made that decision, I would really be hurting right now. And unfortunately, we are raised, and we're raising our daughters to prioritize the things that will cause them to hurt. Not every woman wants to be a mother and a wife, but if that is your priority, as a younger woman, make it a priority. Get healed, learn how to date, secure that great high value guy before he's jaded, and create something beautiful for yourselves. And then in your negotiations for marriage, discuss your ambitions and your dreams and go right ahead and do that, because chances are a guy around your age is not going to be as established, so both of you will need to be in there helping each other out. right? And that's when it's really going to be important. So I really want you to do that. And I'm not saying sacrifice your career for a man. I'm just putting it out there. And last but definitely not least, invest your time to understand the masculine and the feminine principle. So important that you get it at a very young age, because you don't want to be so full of masculine energy that it's harder for you to now deal with as you get older, and way more expensive for you to deal with as you get older. I hope that this video has helped us as mothers, aunties, big sisters, and younger women to really hone in what matters when we're young, and what ought to be our greatest priority when we are young, and the things we need to put under our belt whilst we're still young, and have the openness and the energy of heart that when we get older, we reap the dividends and are mature and wise and healed and full enough to really enjoy them. I hope that this video was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye now.